I'm Videobob, and today we're going to do an oil change on the Back to the Future DeLorean time machine replica. All right, this is the business end of the DeLorean time machine, or the DeLorean DMC12 rather. This is a PRV V6. It's a Volvo-based V6 aluminum engine. At optimal running capacity, it's putting out 130 horsepower. Car goes a little over 100 miles an hour if you're lucky, getting it up to 88. So this particular car is needing a little bit of love, and it's time to change the oil. So let's do it. All right, the drain plug for your oil is right here facing this way, meaning when you take it out, it's gonna splash off of this cradle here and make a big mess. The original DeLorean oil plug, if you have an original DMC12, it has an inset plug with a big square head. It's not an Allen, it's not a Torx, it's a square. And only dealers would have this special like Z or like S-shaped tool that would go up in there and then you'd loosen it. They didn't really make a ratchet port. You couldn't access it easily. So the first thing every DeLorean owner does or should do is figure out how to get that thing out. Sometimes you could put like a 3/8 ratchet in there and that'll work. Get the plug out and then go get yourself a new drain plug. This one is a 19. Let's see here. So, and it's loose. You get some gloves on, let's drain this sucker. Yeah, people were whining about my orange gloves not matching my outfit, that I need red ones. Just got this in the mail today. I paid for this. It's not a sponsorship, but it's called a transmission drain funnel. Well, what's great about it is this rinky-dink little bowl they give you from Harbor Freight with this drain doesn't catch the arc. So that we figured we'll get, this thing was a couple of bucks from eBay. And this will make it a little easier. And this is probably loose enough. No. Let's see. Now this engine isn't hot. We didn't really get a chance to warm it up, so. Come on. It's too loose to ratchet, but too tight to do with your fingers. Giggity. Giggity. Snarf, snarf. There we go. You know, that oil doesn't look bad. I'm looking at it, and it's not crazy dirty. So, towels. Towel boy. That's actually not crazy dirty oil. I mean, look at it. I'm actually very happy with that oil. And it says here we last changed it on October 2nd, 2018. But we don't really put any miles on this car, you know. This car goes on and off a trailer, sits around. It's probably only got not even 100 miles on it since we changed it. So what's interesting about this little plug that I bought, and I think I got it from like Pep Boys, it's got a little magnet on the end. Capture any metal shavings. So I'm going to clean this up. Now, what do you guys find? I have an oil filter wrench that's made specifically for that filter. It's probably sitting over there, so get me a ratchet and grab that. I'm trying to see if this says, I think that says 1.5, so if that means anything to you. And I'm glad I bought this little tray. Yeah.
Well, that other one's got a hole in it where you almost have to watch.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What? Either we're full or something's up.
I saw that happening, actually. I have a feeling.
We just had a discussion about how much oil does it hold? Well, we just emptied the Rolls Royce into this can. You know what? I think that's too much. Guess what? It's too much. It's way too much. It's way too much, way too much. We have a major situation here. We have oil going everywhere. So guess what? You can't fit both a Rolls Royce and a DeLorean into the same drain. So your filter should come with a little crush washer, which is a little copper washer like that crushes. So I want to pay homage to a friend of mine, a fallen brother, John Harvey of DeLorean Auto Parts. He lived not far from me. Used to get all my parts from him. He died late last year of cancer. I was at his funeral, and well, this is the last oil filter that I got from him. He used to sell these to us, and you know, he would tape a nice little washer on there for you and put his sticker on there from DeLoreanAutoparts.com. It's got his name on there, John Harvey. And I debated not using it and just saving it. But you know what? For John, I'm going to put it on my car. So for all the DeLorean owners out there who knew John and bought parts from him, this is for you, John. So we're going to put that on there. I need a silver Sharpie. We're going to write the date on here. Put your new crush washer on just like that, and go ahead and put it back in. Now I know this is a wet engine, there's oil all over the place. It's not maybe the most ideal example of a fine DeLorean specimen. They made it so easy. Every single part of this car is designed poorly. See, the design of this, it's hard to get a socket up in there. So you have to use a box wrench, a spanner. This is a ratchet. Girl, you ratchet! You're gonna have a little bit of tension there because you gotta crush that washer into place to seal it. Now you'll notice this other pipe here, this is not part of the exhaust and not part of the cooling system. That's part of our customized fog machine system. I can show that to you in another video. We have a fog machine mounted in the trunk. Squirts the fog all the way through there and out the back. How neat is that? Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine.
It's probably the one that'll work right there.
I mean, I used it on the bus. It's not that one.
Bam!
Jesus. Just when you think it's going to be easy, it ain't. And of course, part of the bad design, the thing is sideways and on top of the pan here. So oil is going to come running right down the side of the thing. There's no way around it. Yeah. Need more towels. All right. Crap. All right, we've pre-lubed our little filter. We're going to put this back on. And really, I've about got it hand tight enough that it's probably tight enough like that.
You got a rag.
I might just leave it right there. I think that's tight enough. All right. We've got another hover conversion coming down. Thank you, Goldie Wilson. Shout out to my man Don Full of Love. The man is full of love. So a frequently asked question is, how do you access the engine with all the stuff on the back of the time machine? Well, it's pretty simple. You just lift it up. And grab that prop rod for me, why don't you? Alrighty. Simply. Now, if you were to look into this motor, you'd be like, okay, where the hell does the oil go? Well, this little valve breather deal sits right on top of this valve cover here. You just kind of pull that off, and we're going to get ourselves a nice funnel. And that just come right off the hose there. Very nice. And we'll get a funnel. So what kind of oil does a time machine use? It uses regular old Harley Davidson oil. This is a nice thick 2050. This is the stuff we use, just conventional oil. It's an old-fashioned motor. It is an aluminum engine. Now, probably I would put synthetic in here, but quite frankly, sometimes with the older engines, the conventional just works. Some of the synthetics can be a little too thin. This engine requires a nice thick oil, just like a Harley Davidson does. So I just use the regular conventional, and you saw how clean it was. We only change oil every year or two in this thing because we only put like a couple of miles on it a year. It doesn't go anywhere. There's a strainer.
Watch out.
Wow, this stuff is thick. Show you something cool with a license plate. I showed this in another video, but how pimp is that? This is from my buddy Travis Bell, Celebrity Machines. He sells all the license plates to the famous movie cars. Check him out, celebritymachines.com. Tell Travis the Videobob sent you. And this is a contraption that I kind of custom built for the car. But that way, when I get to the show, I can flip it over, display this plate, and then flip it over, and then I can drive with my legal plate. We're going to fire it up, let it run, let it fill up all the cavities, and then we'll check the oil. Believe it or not, that's a good running DeLorean. They should idle about 780, 820. That's a pretty decent idle. So as cruddy as this sounds, that's actually a good running DeLorean. They use a Bosch K-tronic mechanical fuel injection system. It's a lot like what's used on some of the Rolls-Royce, Bentleys, Jaguars, British cars. And it's a pain in the butt. The best thing you can do for a DeLorean is run it as much as possible. If you own a DeLorean and maybe you just got it and you're just watching this video because you're learning about it, go out and start it up every week and let it idle up to temperature. Keep fresh gas in it. Keep stable in it if you're going to park it. Okay? Put premium in it and let it run. Don't let the gas get bad. This fuel system will varnish really easily, and all the rubber will go bad really easily. As long as you keep it fresh, keep fresh gas in there, run it up to temperature every week, at least once a month. And if you can, drive the thing just around the block. But at the very most, start it up and just move it forward and back 2 feet so you don't flat spot the tires. If you have the ability to put it on a rack, lift it up about a foot, let the transmission and everything run. The worst thing you can do for these cars is let them sit. That's what happens to every single one of these DeLoreans. They sit over the winter time, people don't drive them, they go out there in the spring, car doesn't start. Then they just let it sit there. Then it gets even worse and worse. Then you have to rebuild the fuel system, rebuild the brake system, rebuild everything. Done 31 of these cars so far, so we know quite a bit about them. All right, let's go ahead and kill it and check the oil. There we go. That's what Daddy was looking for. Takes a lot of dinosaur bones to keep this thing running. This baby's electrical, but the engine still runs on oil. All right, so that's pretty much how you do it. Oil has been changed, and now the engine is ready for another couple of years service. And now Mr. Fusion is going to be charged. Toss that in there. Now it's ready for 1.21 gigawatts in the flux capacitor. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Videobob, and this is the DeLorean Time Machine replica. You know, we built 31 of these so far, and they're all over the world. Now, if you're watching this video right now, which is, what is it? It's January 2020. Yeah. I forget what year I'm in. I have a time machine. I'll be in Manchester, England, February 20th for the opening of the Back to the Future musical. Sitting right next to Bob Geller, who wrote the movie. Seeing all my friends that are Back to the Future and DeLorean fans. So come out and see me. Also, if you want to contribute to some of the great work we do here, I have a Patreon. Go on Patreon, look for Videobob, and you can get a personal shout out and a link in the description promoting you and your channel or whatever it is your business is. Check me out on Facebook if you want to see all the things that Bob's Prop Shop does, all the cool cars that we build. We are on Facebook at Bob's Prop Shop. If you want to just follow me, I am at Videobob Mosley on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm on everything. So, thanks for watching. I'm Videobob.